I did a video in regards to the changeovers, and I pointed out that the Platinum trim was not listed under the 7.3 liter gas engine. So here's a question: can you still buy the regular Platinum without the diesel? Let's find out. I am here at Garff Ford in West Valley, Utah. If you would like to order this truck here, I'm going to show you. Be sure to ask for Josh. You can text him. He said he'd be willing to sell the truck at invoice price, so you can just ask him what that number would be. Or if you would like to take away some options, or maybe you want the diesel, you can ask him to add that on to the order. So at the very top here, you guys will see this is a F350 four-wheel drive crew cab. This is a Platinum trim, okay? And I did pick Neptune Blue just because it's the newest color, and I'm pretty sure people will want to see that. But base price is $80,770. That does not include destination, so just keep that in mind. Destination is still $2,795. And the good news is you can still buy the Platinum without the diesel. So when I look at the changeover, I'm going to show that paper to you really quickly. You guys will see where it showed all the trim levels for the 7.3 liter. It did not show the Platinum trim, so I was really afraid to see that maybe they might have X'd the Platinum from having the gas engine. And GM does that with their Denali Ultimate, right? If you're looking to get a GMC Sierra HD and Denali Ultimate trim, you cannot get the gas engine with that setup. And Ram did that with their limited trim back in 2024, I believe it was. Now with that being said, Neptune Blue is $395. You guys see, you can still obviously get the leather seats with the console. You cannot get a bench with the Platinum, although I would think that that would be a very nice order only option. Maybe some people want that Platinum interior, but they have maybe 4 kids, and so they need that bench seat up front. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Also, you guys see the 430 locker. I did add that on. You just have to do that personally. And of course, FX4 package. All-weather mats were added onto this one too. And the gross vehicle weight rating for the F350 with gas engine is 11,499. I'll show you guys the payload on this truck here. But yeah, the Pro Power is $995. I think that if you're spending this much money, you should just go ahead and get that option personally. Fifth wheel prep package, clearance lights. I wouldn't buy a Super Duty or HD without that personally. And then twin panel, upfitter switches, max recline. Now just note that they may have gone up in price for some of these options, so you can do a comparison on Ford's website to see the difference on those, okay? But you know, with destination and all these options, we're just under $90,000. And I would say that this is a really well equipped Ford Super Duty Platinum. Now, some people might ask the question, why would you build a truck like this with a gas engine? And that's a really good question, because obviously if you can afford a Platinum, you most likely can afford the diesel too. For 2027, no more standard output diesel. You only get the high output, so that's a good thing. And for 2027, the diesel costs $12,495. So they did drop the price by $1,000, and it makes sense because now they're not producing 2 diesels. They probably had the margin out to just drop the price from that. But with Platinum trim, and hopefully it doesn't change, blackout does come standard. And actually I know it does still have this as a standard equipment because there's no option for blackout on the builder. And my favorite thing about these trucks is the headlights. So these are adaptive headlights, projector style. Painted bumpers come standard, of course, front parking sensors, adaptive cruise control, all that good stuff. And this does have that star white paint. This would probably be my second option if I were in the market for one of these trucks. A little bit of satin finish up here. It would be nice if they blacked this out with this truck, but I'm not going to complain. Cameras, so you do have 360, black recovery hooks there. And then of course the fog lights. Now I did not add the camper package to this truck simply because the people that might be looking to buy a gas Platinum are probably not looking for that option. But again, it's something to consider. I would get it on my truck just simply because of the fact that I think it would add value in the future. Now here's the wheel design. I don't see any changes on the builder for that either, so you're gonna have the same wheel design unless you get the trimmer package. And if you don't remember, you can now get trimmer package with long bed on these trucks, so something else to consider. And maybe I'll build that truck in the future on a Lariat package. Fabric material for the liner here. You guys see the power deployable running boards that come standard. There are some puddle lights there, more cameras, blackout for the mirror caps too, blind spot, painted door handles. I did not add this onto the build. That might be another good option to have. Of course, you have the smart key system for these two. This is a standard bed, 34-gallon fuel tank, and then this one does have a 7.4 gallon DEF. And because this is a 1-ton, you guys see there, that's your suspension setup. You have 4 leaves and then an overload, E-coated frames, and this truck does have the liner. Let's take a quick peek at the window sticker because I have not shown that to you guys yet. Hold on one second. Now here's the description, and then this is a short listing of the standard features, and then here are all the options. So high output diesels on here, rapid heat, 5th wheel prep, security code was 455, twin panel. So twin panel did go up $100 for 2027, by the way. I just saw that. And then base price, destination, and then this truck has a total price of $103,790. And I think that's why I would probably skip the diesel, because my goodness, like, you can get this truck for under $90,000 with all these nice options. Just saying, just something to consider. Now, I didn't talk about capacity for the tire, but max load at max PSI is 3,750 pounds, 80 PSI. These are the Bridgestone Dueler all-terrains. And when you get the FX4 package, they also give you all the skid plates. Downhill assist is a part of that package too. More steps, parking sensors out back, power liftgate, and they do give you the black applique on this standard Platinum. There's a step, 5th wheel prep, 2,000 watts of power, and then here's your plugs for your trailer. This is a camera plug, it's a 12-way, then 7-pin. Also, you have the bed lights, camera, and defrost with a power glass. Love the fact that this truck does have the full LED headlights and taillights. The other trucks don't have that. And there's that spare tire, 355 with the locker. If you were to get the gas engine, figure 430 horsepower, 485 pound-feet of torque, which is class leading. You have the option for the 430, which I recommend if you plan on towing, or if you just plan on running a 37 or a taller tire. Just makes sense to get that lower gearing out back. But this high output power stroke has how much horsepower? 500 horsepower, 1,200 pound-feet of torque. It's been a while since I've been around these trucks, so almost forgot there. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. My favorite thing about the Platinum trim is how pretty much everything comes standard. So you have a power steering column, power pedals. You used to be able to get these two things on the Lariat standard, and twin panel, that's really the biggest upgrade. Of course, that power glass, defrost, and tint all come standard on this truck, but the interior is just a little bit more premium. Like all like the accents that they give you in blue, this could be going away for 2027, because on the F-150s, the trucks have like a gray accent versus the blue, so that might be going away. Tilt headrests come standard on this truck. Of course, heated ventilated seats, also massage function. So these trucks come pretty done up. And out back, you have the 60/40 bench, outboard heated seats, USBs, power plug, 120 volt there. Has the best B&O sound system. So again, even if you got no options on this truck, you're gonna get all the niceties that you would want in a luxury pickup truck. But that's pretty much it. Just want to show you a few things inside of here. You guys know I love talking about all the different metrics that they show you for like temperatures. So here's some of your gauges. And of course, if you get the gas engine, you'll still see like engine coolant, transmission, then engine oil temp. And then for the diesels, they give you this. Heads-up display on this truck is there. Oh, this is locked here. But right here, wireless charger, USBs, and you just have a more premium interior, I would say, overall, which is nice. Even on the dash there, you can see some of that blue stitching. Home link, it's right there. Auxiliary switches, place for your sunshades. And let's go ahead and check out the payload real quickly. So here are the numbers on the door. I'll call it out to you. Gross axle weight rating out front is going to be 5,600 pounds. The rear is 7,230 pounds. 12,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. And then 3J axle codes at 355 with the locker. 20 by 8 wide wheels. All in payload is 3,867 pounds. Tire pressure is 60 out front, 80 in the rear. So if you get the gas engine, it's going to have a little bit more payload compared to the diesels. I don't know why they do that. You would think that the diesel would have more payload because it could tow more, but the way they obviously set these trucks up, they're heavier, and diesels just add more weight. So they can obviously offset the gross vehicle weight rating, but they won't do it. So if you want more payload, you gotta go to a dually with a lower trim level. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Check out Ken Garff's website. Ask for Josh. See you guys soon.